What is happening, ladies and gentlemen of League Zero? My name is Corbs, once again here with the Novice Countdown, with my co-host as always, Peripheral.
Hello.
And right below me, we have the Reaper Queen herself, Dejin.
One introduction, hello.
And we got the hit scan specialist on the side of Wisdom Academy, Spongy Cheese.
Hello.
Alright, so we got, well, what a fun week of games we had last week, or a few weeks ago, excuse me. And yeah, because, you know, we gotta take a break. But yeah, so let's quickly go over what happened a few weeks ago for those of y'all that are not caught up. We actually had a 3-0 Wisdom beat Fortunate Sons with the player of the match being Sergeant Pepper and the honorable mention being right here in Spongy Cheese. And we had a huge upset on the side of Geo versus Rio, where Geo once didn't even have a map win, beat the undefeated map king, I guess you can say, Rio Redemption, winning 3-2. The player of the match being Puffer and the honorable mention being Dejin. Anyways, that was a fun week of games that we had. Both Peripheral and Dejin. We'll cover the Rio versus Geo game second. I want to go over the Wisdom versus Fortunate Sons game before. So, Fortunate Sons, honestly, they didn't have their starters, and it really did show. Spongy was just able to click heads constantly because, I mean, everyone. Honestly, it wasn't pretty for on the side of Fortunate Sons, but it is what it is. Some weeks are good, some weeks you just don't have your starters. So, Spongy, obviously you played in this game. What are your thoughts and your recap for like what it's how the game went down for you?
Well, so first off, I think Pepper did really, really well. Like he popped off and carried a bunch of fights, but I think just like we knew going into the game that Fortunate Sons weren't gonna have there, so we knew not to like get our hopes up, but we knew that we would just roll them, like especially without their starters. Like we were planning on the 3-0 even with their starters already. So we're confident, and I have confidence in all the players on my team that like anybody can pop off at any time. Really, I feel like.
Yeah, honestly,
we're just a big threat.
I was about to say, yeah, and also P-Bach looked a lot better, not on a laptop at like half health pretty much the entire time. Yep. So, glad to see he's back to his former self. Anyways, Peripheral and Dejin, hopefully y'all watch the games. I know Peripheral has to because, you know, being a co-host, it's kind of your job. So, what are your thoughts on the game from what you saw from an outsider's perspective?
No, you go first.
I mean, watching the games, it's very clear that the DPS line of Wisdom Academy, specifically Pepper and Spongy, obviously, really just like took control. It was kind of brutal, especially watching Pepper on such weird picks like Genji, characters that aren't necessarily in the meta, completely fragging. It was some crazy stuff. Shimada barbecue difference, or Shimada family barbecue. That's what we call the comp.
That's
Shimada family barbecue difference. Definitely interesting.
The Hanzo Genji. Oh yeah.
It's just really
I like
just fun
that.
shit.
Yeah, I mean, they said it best. Fortunate Sons not having their starters in hurt them badly. I think in particular it affected Red Knight, as he just didn't look good out there. Like he looked super disconnected from his team, almost like their week 1 game against Rio. And I also do think that some of their comp choices were kind of not the best. Like, at one point, I think they were attacking Eichenwald into the Shimada family barbecue, as it's aptly named. They were running, like, Ball Zarya, which, like, I don't really understand it, since it just seems to be such a bad comp to play into the Orisa Hog. So, like, who knows? Hopefully they can rebound this week against Rio, a very formidable opponent, but my hopes aren't high, to be honest.
Yeah, Rio, despite getting upset by Geo, they are still a very scary team, and seeing if Fortunate Sons will actually have a chance against them, that's to be seen. Anyways, well, you know who Rio did not have a chance against? Geo. But especially with the 3-2 win, and Geo just absolutely shocked all the analysts and pretty much everyone in the league by upsetting a team that was thought to be untouchable. So we both have Djinn and Peripheral, even though Peripheral did not play in this game, stay benched, and
Thanks
Djinn
God.
and Djinn popping off on the Reaper as always. I mean, and other characters, it's not just Reaper, but yeah. You obviously you were in this game. What were your thoughts what was your thought when like, oh, we can actually win this thing. We can pull off the upset.
I remember distinctly the moment where I felt that way is when we were honestly first point. It felt like they weren't the monster we thought they were. They picked me off first fight instantly, and then I came back. They let me fully regroup with my team, and then Puffer landed the biggest like shatter I've seen ever in the league. That 6-man on first point, first fight, really clearing them out, and we just like completely like ran for it. Like a calm sprung up. Everyone felt this sense of resolution. And it just felt amazing being on that team at that time. We felt like we could get it, and then we won the sub map, and then we won a map, and then we won the game, and now we're gunning for the rest. So yeah.
Exactly, especially in this league, considering that there's only 4 teams, it doesn't matter how you start; it matters how you finish. And obviously, you guys did finish the 3-2 victory in your favor. So, and then Peripheral, you were also involved in this game. What were your thoughts and perspectives for seeing the upset as it unfolded?
I have to maintain some form of neutrality, being a host and all, and I didn't play myself, but like judging, like based off of like being in the voice chat, hearing the comms, hearing the team environment, it seemed like we went into the game not necessarily trying to like impose ourselves, but just trying to take the game, just trying to take things as they come and sort of grow into the match and adapt. And I think once we realized that Rio, as Jin said, once we realized that Rio aren't untouchable, I think we really started to pick up the tempo. We started to really take the game to them. And I also think they really hadn't had the chance. Rio really hadn't had a game taken to them in that manner before. They'd usually had teams just fall over in front of them. Like, no offense to Rio, but their opponents weren't exactly the strongest they could have been. And I didn't expect we would be either, but I think all of our players really came into their own and really prove that they can hang with the rest of the league, and that as a whole combined to create like a lot of a closer match than we expected, and then ultimately it culminated in Lijiang, which was just a bit of a blowout, and here we are.
Yeah, honestly, Geo looked like a completely different team from week 1 to week 3, and it definitely showed that they are improving and they actually know how to run a comp that's not just Orisa. Anyways, Spongy, what were your if you did watch the game, what were your thoughts on it, especially from an outsider's perspective?
Well, so first off, I was very impressed with Geo's team play. They played like a lot better as a team. I think that's what like their biggest factor was in the game, because I feel like all of them, like basically every single person on Geo was doing well, and I think it didn't help that. So I think Rio came in with probably the mentality. I think they came into a mentality with like they were just gonna stomp, and I think Geo took that to advantage.
Yeah, Geo definitely was just put wisdom, or not, what am I saying, Rio on their heels pretty much the entire game, and so that's what really just the more aggressive playstyle really did catch up to Wisdom as well, or no, Rio. I'm sorry,
Rio.
I'm just thinking of next week's games, but anyways, yeah. So, anyways, speaking of which, we do have some games this week, and if you are watching this on Friday, I know it's a miracle. But later today we actually do have some games. So we got Wisdom versus Geo and Rio versus Fortunate Sons. Here are our predictions. I have Wisdom winning 3-1 over Geo. Peripheral cannot predict in this game as he is a player for Geo. The analysts have 63% in Wisdom's favor, and the community is actually dead even split on Geo and Wisdom. And for the next game, Rio versus Fortunate Sons, I have Rio winning in a 3-0. Peripheral has Rio winning in a 3-1. The analysts, 90% in Rio's favor, and the community, 80% in Rio's favor. Well, we got another week of games ahead of us. Hopefully just as exciting as the last week's games. and hopefully, let's be honest, no more 3-0s. Thank goodness. And but yeah, so we do have we do have 3 representatives from the first game here. That will be Geo versus Wisdom Academy. And first of all, I want to, since I was really the only one to make a predictions, I just want to know your thoughts. Let's start with Peripheral, and then Peripheral, Djinn, and then Spongy.
I mean, yeah, I can't predict for obvious reasons, but I think that Rio game definitely served as a springboard, or probably will serve as a springboard for us, because like I think we started to realize, like, now we've realized we can compete with the rest of the league. I think that's going to give us the momentum to build off of that result. And Wisdom probably is the strongest team right now. I'd say they have the team there. They have shown themselves to be the strongest, even against a kind of weak Fortunate Sons. So it's definitely going to be an exciting game, a very close game. I think we're going to learn a lot about just how good both teams can be when pushed to their limits. And yeah, I don't think there's really more than that I have to say.
Yeah, and we also have another representative from Geometric with Djinn. So, Djinn, what are your thoughts about my predictions, and what do you want me, or what do you think you're gonna do in order to prove me wrong? I guess you can say.
Well, I'm going to preface this by saying, as the captain of Geometric, it's going to be very hard for me to sound unbiased here. I truly do believe that our team has the capacity to beat any team in the league right now. I do, however, think that Wisdom has the ability to completely upset that. They are a very strong team. The DPS line, very, very strong coming out of the gate. It's going to be a fight, but I do predict it'll be at least a 3-2, 3-1. It won't be a 3-0 sweep on either side. And whoever comes out as the victor, it will be hard fought at the end of the day. But Geo does have a habit of upsetting analysts, as was evident in last week's match. So, yeah.
I mean, it definitely did upset me, as I predicted Rio just to be 3-0. 3-0 redemption, I guess. But anyways, let's go over to the other side of the coin, I guess you can say, with Spongy Cheese. So, Spongy, what were kind of your well, obviously, I do have y'all winning in a 3-1 fashion. So, what are you doing to, I guess you can say, meet or exceed expectations for the side of Wisdom?
I mean, it's what we're always doing. Like, we scrim, build synergy. So some of us are on multiple teams though, but we just basically just been building synergy and improving ourselves as individual players. So we can, like, we're not going to take the game easy. We're expecting I'm not expecting the Geo against Rio. I'm expecting a better Geo than that. I'm expecting to improve, so we have to improve ourselves.
Well, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's putting the pressure on us.
Yeah.
But anyways, but yeah, good job. Yeah, that does make sense there. I mean, Geo does look like a completely different team right now. To be completely honest with you, like, they definitely have improved their team play overall. Wisdom has always had great team play. The only time they really, I guess you can say, lacked it was when they had their backups in against Rio. And yeah, that was interesting to watch, to say the least. Anyways, moving on to the next game, we have Rio versus Fortunate Sons. Rio is coming off of an upset, so let's see how they will respond. However, they are blessed to say, I guess you can say blessed to face one of the weaker teams in the league. Actually, the weaker part of Fortunate Sons right now. Like, Fortunate Sons is coming off a pretty devastating loss to Wisdom Academy. So, in my opinion, this is gonna be kind of like a bounce back game for Rio. Like I said earlier, I have Rio winning 3-0, and Peripheral has Rio. Rio winning 3-1, so he did give a map to Fortunate Sons. So Peripheral, why'd you go in favor of the 3-1?
I think we're going to see a marginally stronger Fortunate Sons with Maverick and Octo back in the side. They did also pick up Valerie, who is quite a good DPS, so they might be slotting them in at flex DPS. I'm not sure how that will impact their chances against Rio, especially with how strong Rio will probably look against them. I don't think it's going to be an absolute blowout, but Rio will definitely seem the markedly better team, especially with how with TIE Fighter assuming TIE Fighter comes back into the side. I think they're gonna look a decent bit better than they did against us.
And Djin, obviously you're not competing in this game, so what are your thoughts about like who is gonna walk away with the victory here?
Well, after watching a lot of the Rio and Fortunate Sons games so far, and after versing Fortunate Sons as a team myself, I'll say that I think they have more potential than people are giving them credit for, especially as they're shoring up their DPS line a little bit with this new pickup. I think, of course, Rio is still going to win with their extremely strong comps that they've been playing so far. But with Red Knight at their helm, Fortunate Sons is probably going to take 1 or 2 maps at the very least, and it won't be as much of a blowout as people predict, I think.
And last but certainly not least, Spongy, what are your takes on the upcoming Rio versus Fortunate Sons game?
Well, so you said it's just I don't think it's just a comeback game for Rio. I think it's also a comeback game for Fortunate Sons because I feel like this is their chance, like, to prove it's either do or die for them. I think, or not do or die, but like this is really their chance to prove if they're like bottom tier or if they still can compete with the top or if they can at all. But I think they will. I think it's going to be closer than a 3-0, but I think it could go to like 3-1, 3-2 Rio.
Yeah, honestly, I do think, yes, even Fortunate Sons does have some very good pieces in order to really bolster them, I guess you can say, against Rio as well. Like, for example, the return of their MVP candidate in Octo, as well as the return of Maverick, off-tank that Red Knight is more used to playing with. That could actually tip the scales a bit in Fortunate Sons' favor. However, I just see Rio completely flipping a switch and just being like, yeah, we're a lot better than this. We should be able to steamroll these guys easily. Anyways, that'll conclude it for this week. Well, it's definitely a little bit shorter than the last few weeks. However, hopefully still the quality content that we can provide you as well. So, if you've made it this far into the video, remember to ping Intel every single chance you get.
And Tyler.
And Tyler, yes, and Tyler.
Especially Tyler.
Please shower.
You know what? Ping both of them for us. But
yeah.
Anyways,
I'm pinging Tyler right now.
Good. Anyways, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and go enjoy the weekend watching games. See ya.
What up, everyone? Welcome to week 5 now, right? Week 5 of the countdown. Wow, it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but I'm your host Navina, joined by my co-host Jeff.
I think the group chat said week 6, but I guess it is only week 5.
Is it week?
No, it's 5. Week 5. Week 5. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games. Yeah.
So now that you've heard us, be scuffed as usual, welcome, Copy Dog. Oh, sorry, Copy. My bad. Michael or the Gurgler.
Hello. Yes.
From Exodus.
Yep. That is the Gurgler.
I'm so used to because the only time me and you really interacted for real was when we run.
When I was on Copy. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. So might be. But then also joining us, the feeder himself, the pinner into the back line, aka Romy OW.
Hi, I just came back just in time, huh?
I didn't even realize he was gone.
Yeah, I was taking groceries then.
The teleport got himself Romy.
Nailed it.
It's an honor to be in the call with you.
Maybe you might know him from Runback Scrims, the memes. Today in Runback Scrims. Yeah, this week in Runback Scrims. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about the games. We're gonna start from the top, which is DC versus Top Police. The player of the match for that game was Zoom, with honorable mentions of Frozen and Basket, and DC won 3-0. Jeff, you want to start us off with your thoughts on this game?
Obviously, the first map Busan was really close. McCurry had a insane mecha base, I think it was, and really just an insane map in general, especially on the Doomfist. After that, though, even with backup tanks in, double cap, just their DPS were getting too much value. Their supports were getting caught out. I thought Police's supports were getting caught out. In general, they just kind of proved they were the stronger team outside of that first map. That being said, first map still without King Genius, you know, still stuff to look forward to for the Thought Police. So I think they're looking better week by week, and they're definitely getting better pieces in. It's just when we're going to see them all together.
Like, from watching the game, like, as you said, Busan was really close. And the other two just felt like a roll. Just felt like DC knew what they were doing. And, like, if any week they were going to beat DC, it would have been this week, because they didn't have Silvertalls, they didn't have Pongo, they didn't have Jakaru. You know, like, this was the week they were going to beat them, if any. But they weren't able to capitalize and continue that. And, like, Greek kind of, like, really, I thought, did well in the Rhine map 1. And the ball was kind of weird. The ball was weird. Then
they pulled out the hog on a map, right? As
they
well,
did.
like,
Wasn't that on Rialto? Was that Rialto, right? I think that was
I think so. Yeah, there were a lot of tank combinations going on.
Yeah. And then, like, it just felt like they weren't getting value out of stuff. They didn't know what they wanted to do. I don't know, Copy and Romy, what do you guys think?
Yeah, so I mean, personally for me, I just think Thought Police, I think Greek could just not do more. I think and McCree also. I think those two are just really good players. Especially Greek. I think he carried hard in every single map and is like the best Reinhardt in the league. Yeah, I just wish they had better pieces around him, you know?
Bro,
it's a shame. It's a shame, really.
Bro, what?
No, I'm kidding. No, I think DC are just better, even with subs. I mean, yeah. I kind of was like watching like haphazardly while also like just interacting on Discord. So I think DC played really well, and I think that McCree deserves better. McCree deserves better for sure.
Well, I mean, he wanted to go to that team. Like, that was one of the teams he requested to get traded to, because he's friends with people on there. Like,
yeah.
And I just don't know. I don't know why Tevatron got benched, because I didn't even think he was the worst bit of that team. Like, if I'm being honest, like, they just need new flex support. Like, I love Gum, and he's a great guy. Or, like, maybe they just need to, like, I just think Gum gets picked first a lot, you know? And they really get caught out by it. And then...
I saw Gumsauce shoot a Pharah down. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, no, that was a clean... I know which clip you're talking about. That was clean.
Yeah,
like, he has moments, but it's just he's not consistent.
That was cool, yeah. No, it's cool. Shooting Pharahs is pretty cool.
And like, I do think they have a better off tank now that they have Shinsei, but like, it's still like not enough to make them compete with the top teams of this league. Like, I think Chief is solid, but I don't think he can carry. McCree is really good, but he can't carry. Like, they don't have what I would call like an MVP caliber piece on the team. And Romy, anything else you want to add?
Besides Greek, of course.
The way I see it, Double Cap is a really strong team. And they're a team that will really punish any kind of weaknesses that you have. And I think, you know, Thought Police was, you know, they didn't look bad, in my opinion. But I really think that they just got exploited by Double Cap's refinedness. I guess it's more so like coordination difference or organization difference.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Okay. All right, well, again, I want to say, though, I want to emphasize that Thought Police has improved. Like, they're definitely better than week 1. It's just, it's hard when you start off so far behind.
Did we talk about player of the match?
Yeah, I said it.
Okay.
Next, played a match with Zoom, which his Orisa was really good.
God, I love Zoom.
Owner of the Tournament of Kings Row.
Real.
Next game, we have Exodus versus Capitalism, with Exodus completing the reverse sweep, winning 3-2. And the player of the match was the Gurgler.
The Gurgler, yeah.
And the Gurgler himself, with no honorable mentions, actually. So you got a clean sweep.
That's surprising.
How? Actually, is it honorable mention, like, voted by the other team? Or I don't remember how that works. Like,
no, I think it's just people who get runner-up for the player of the match votes in general, right? That's why some people have, like, 3 and stuff. Like, I think it's just whoever received a vote gets an honorable mention, essentially.
Okay. Well, Gurgler, Michael, you want to tell us what you thought of this game?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, Capitalism were my old team. I wasn't benched for Nova. I was benched for Remy because they picked me up to be an off-tank player. But they didn't want to start me, even though I feel like I helped that team a lot, like comms-wise. Because the reason why Capitalism bad, people do want to know, it's just their comms. As soon as Nova gets like a little tilted and he stops comming, there's no more comms. He's the only person that talked. And then when I was in, it was just me and him. I remember the first week of scrims, I was literally the only person talking, and Nova's the only one that actually like improved and started coming. So I felt like I deserved to start, especially since I started grinding. So I got traded to Exodus, and you know, obviously I wanted to beat my old team, and I did that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We reverse swept. That's I'm sick of tired and getting these reverse sweeps. Sometimes it's just like I'm on so many teams where we reverse sweep or drop 2 maps. It's just like, dude, like I want to 3-0. I want to know what it's like to like be a dominant team, you know? I don't get that. That sucks. But they played well. It was good. Yeah. I don't know.
I would say, like, from just watching, it's like I was really surprised y'all pulled out Gibraltar, which started the reverse sweep. Like, that's honestly, like, if I was him, I would be tilted if I lost Gibraltar like that, because like the first map was pretty like not one-sided, but like
it was one-sided. Oh, it was one-sided. Oh my god. Yeah, it was weird. Like first map, it feels weird because we started the game. We were sitting in lobby, by the way, for like 25 minutes after our warm-up. So like I was kind of just like dozed off, and literally first map happened, and then like everyone started talking, and I just like, whoa, what just happened? Like I genuinely like do not remember playing that first map. Like right now, I was in some other place, and then I was like, all right, time to wake up, you know, time to gurgle, right? As the people say, and going into map 2, they're like, what map do you want? I'm like, you know, I can take Nova on the Rhine. Like, I know I just flopped first map on Rhine, but I was like asleep, so I was like, I'm ready, and I did pretty good.
Second map to him on Rhine.
Okay, listen. I, as a main tank versus main tank, I personally felt like I beat Nova on King's Row, but at the end of the day, their team just had a lot more synergy on King's Row than ours did.
The rotation you went, I think there was like a DPS, there was like a high noon that they went up through stairs behind on cart to try and rescue the fight, which was inspirational, but didn't quite work out.
It was really weird, and like also like there was this one fight that I specifically remember, and even Akri was like, oh, what is Laser doing there? It's when after like Laser teleported to the high ground behind them, and I called them like, Laser, teleport up there as soon as they get to this corner Death Blossom. But I thought the cart was gonna be at the corner, so we would have that extra healing and just that extra space. But the cart was still in like in Narnia, and then they push in, and then all of a sudden we're like all split up. There's like 3 sections of people, and we lost the fight. But yeah, overall, I think our Kings Row, I think we could have won if we just played better, obviously. But then going into third map, Kate or Rogue Dildo was put in, and I think he really helped turn around like the comms wise. He really stepped it up, and he brought a lot of energy back to help us. And then Temple of Anubis, I said it in the interview, but I had never scrimmed Temple of Anubis with the team. We scrimmed it one time when Silent Sword was in, and we got smoked, and we ran a completely different comp. So it was actually really interesting that we beat them on their map pick that dominantly, and then Li Jiang was kind of just a sweep as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Like, I think that you guys definitely look better, like stronger as the series went on, and that shows by this result. But there's nothing more I really want to add. Like, I think that Capitalism will look better if they start. I heard Pine wasn't able to go last week.
Yeah.
I think Pine is a better main support than JRG. I don't think JRG is bad, but I think he's just more of like he's kind of one-dimensional with his brig.
And not just, and I obviously I still talk with Kappa people. I talk with the Flex and Rocket. I've talked with them, and they've said that Pineapple like really helps with the comms. So I'm sure that he'll be starting after this. I think it was at the end of the day, it was a good like. Obviously, I mean, I don't want to like sound egotistical, but I think it hurt them more to lose me. But they weren't using me, so it like doesn't matter. If they gain a piece that they're going to use, then that's the better trade for them. So I mean, obviously, I'm still going to root for them. I hope that they win out the rest of the stage, and I hope to see them in playoffs. You know.
Yeah. I think it'll be like even though they're 0-4, like they have to basically like lose to Thought Police and Papega Parrots to not make playoffs.
Yeah,
because it's top 6. So like,
it depends how. I thought Police do have 1 win, but yeah, it's.
You basically need to get like.
They basically only if they only win like one of the next whatever.
3 games.
Yeah, and then it'll come down to map differential, unless it's head-to-head. I have to actually ask about the tiebreakers because it's either head-to-head or map differential. And most leagues, like for us, we do map differential first, and then if there's a tie map differential, then we do head-to-head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Romy, anything you want to add? I know we just kind of talked while you just
played
Rocket League. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
yes. But I did watch a bit of the match, considering that it went on after our match.
Yeah.
But I think it was really interesting to see, like, in terms of you kind of notice the decay of capitalism as the reverse sweep started. Like, okay, Gibraltar, it was looking really scary for you guys, and then you managed to pull it. You managed to pull it back, and then you could tell something just snapped on the capitalism side, like behind the scenes, because it just seemed like to me that they started playing a little bit worse as the series went on. Like they just didn't have the steam to finish out the win. Not to mention that you were kind of, feeling yourself, and you were kind of up in the ante and playing out of your mind there.
Yeah.
You played like a main tank that knew all their weaknesses, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you played really well into them. Like, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Nova's monkey is much better than mine. And this is also like, I've played main tank for one other team. People say I played main tank for Hangzhou, but I literally only just played Ryan in playoffs. Like, other than that, I wasn't the main tank the entire season. And then I played main tank for like 2 weeks on Frowners before that disbanded. So this is like really like my first like actual like a full team around me that like I'm gonna be committed with as a main tank. So it is still like interesting for me getting used to the role, but I am having a lot of fun with it. Reinhardt is a fun character. And I mean, I'm super excited to go against the top 3 teams because like Dizzy, you, Romy, and Pongo. My God, it's like the 3 best main tanks. I'm just like excited to see how I even like match up. I'm just excited to play. I don't care if we lose. I'm just excited. I'm excited to.
I
just
completely understand you. I consider Pongo my rival, and I've had my target set on him since the preseason.
Yeah, of course.
I've never said really 2 words to the guy, but I just know that they ranked him above me on main tank, so I consider that a rivalry.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm excited to play the top 3 main tanks in my eyes, which are the next 3 teams we play.
That's good. I'm excited. That'll be fun. As much as I love us just talking about this game for so long.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, let's go on to the next game, which is a game that Romy and I played in, which is Mortal Wombat versus Pega Parrots. Mortal Wombat won 3-0. Player of the match was actually Romy. Then honorable mentions.
Really? Yay.
I don't know. You was pinned in the back line. I didn't vote for you. I'll tell you that. Honorable mentions were Aplom and Slimole. Romy, anything you want to talk about with this match?
I feel like that match was really like misleading, which is weird because we got a 3-0, but I feel like the match shouldn't have been as close as it was. In terms like I know the biggest question is gonna be like what happened on King's Row, like was Juice just playing out of his mind? And that was part of it, but it was mostly just that we weren't really playing our best. Not mostly that like we were underestimating them or anything, but I think we kind of just we made some plans that weren't exactly the best, but they kind of got some value, so we assumed that they were right anyways, but in actuality they weren't the best. So, but I know that if we were to play them again, the match would look really different with the same scoreline.
No, he fed, bro. Honestly, this man boosted in the back line like every fight. Like he had a good eat on King's Row. In King's Row, he probably looked his best, but I just don't like. I don't think you can say he played well per se. I think he played well given the circumstances that he's a fill.
I'm gonna say in warm-ups, Swirlhawk locked the Orisa, and I've never been more tilted in my life. I was like, what is this? I was so mad. I was like, dude, he keeps just throwing shield in front of me. I can't do anything. That's crazy. But I mean, I didn't watch the game. I just didn't have time. But I could talk about Mortal Wombats from the last game I watched of him. My God, you guys are good. I was like, sure. When you guys are facing capitalism, I was like, sure.
Yeah, we don't talk about the wrong spawn call.
Slime. Yeah, I was watching a fucking David Dobrik video during that.
That was just a funny map for me because last game I was on the pole. I went to the wrong spawn, and then this recent one against Pega Parrots, I pinned off the map, and I didn't even get any kills with it.
He pulled what we call a psychic core. You know.
I was like, oh please, I was looking to say it. No, but I was like, I think like this is like nothing to do with the game really, but I'm super like happy for Slimal that he's finally on like a good team that's like playing really good around him, and he's playing really good as well. Like his on Gibraltar, he's single-handedly because of like how he's like using his like tools, and like he's just like he shut down like capitalism, like just him alone. Like
Yeah, he popped
in my
in Reborn
opinion
really well.
And I was
Yeah.
like, whoa! I was like, yo, Slimal's improved so much, and it's like I'm happy to see him on a team that's winning because I coached him on Soar and Flux, and it's just good to see that he's popping off. I'm like, good shit, Slimal.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
I will say, like, on a personal note for me, like, it is nice to see us doing well, like, especially with, like, you know, people doubting the fact that I was captain, people doubting the fact, like, just the team we built,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I said a lot
And
of
so
stuff
it-
behind your back.
Thanks, Romy. Thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate the vote of confidence. But, like, and I still have a long way to go to be, like, a decent off-tank at this level, but, like, I don't know. I feel like I've improved. I don't know, Romy.
You're doing.
I think you're good, Navino.
Stop fishing for
I think-
compliments.
I think you're playing good.
I'm not gonna lie, Navino. I haven't had like I've played main tank for a couple teams, and there's a few off tanks that I've had this kind of synergy with. It'd be you, Akimbo, and Nikos.
Mhm.
I'll say, yeah.
I think you're doing
think-
good, Navino. From what I've seen, I think you're doing pretty good.
Well-
I think that the haters can keep on hating. You know what they say?
Navino, you
Mediocrity
should be
loves excuses.
president or something. Like maybe like you're just that great. Wow.
No,
What's it
bro,
called?
no, bro.
Mediocrity loves excuses. And wait, what's the other?
yeah. You know what's funny? Pulligan actually joined a team in Tranquility that so.
Don't
you know
get
what
too off
Tranquility
track.
is
Don't
called?
get too off.
Okay.
I've
But
heard
anyway,
about
he joined a team, and it's just a perfect fit for him. It's a perfect fit. But anyway, I'm really happy with how successful MW has been, and I do think though Pepega did look better than I expected at points. And now that they signed Know You, I think going forward they could look a lot better. Because I know.
I didn't feel that.
I found the quote. Mediocrity loves excuses and will never run out of them. That's people when they shit talk Navino and Mortal Wombats.
You also gotta love the logo, man.
It's still like I don't have expectations going into these like against teams like in terms of power rankings. I throw all of that out the window. I'm mostly just looking to see if I can beat their main tank.
Bars.
And I noticed that like I don't know, I was a bit disappointed. A little bit. Like I felt like there were just things that it didn't feel like they were playing as a team in some moments. And it was really strange. But I would say Kings Row, definitely their best map.
Yeah.
Preach, Romy, preach.
They look better than they have past weeks, I think, honestly, on King, especially on Kings, right? Yeah, 100%.
So, all right. Now let's move on to the last game, which was Tenacity MI6. Tenacity wins 3-0. Play of the match was Epic Shock. Honorable mention was Oats. So I want to start off by saying that Oats had the cleanest clip of Diva I've ever seen in my life with a kill on Swifters. Like, have you guys seen the clip?
Yeah,
have you seen the clip, bro? I was like, that is the cleanest like thing I've ever seen, bro. Like, he just, ugh. That's so.
Oats is nasty.
He's playing
with
out
it.
of his
My
mind.
God.
Yeah.
Oats is literally a different breed of gamer. I wouldn't be
dude.
surprised if Oats was like, I know it's a joke, but I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if Oats was actually a Smurf. And I'm not saying I take that as a compliment. He's playing fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's funny because like I think it's a lot like to me like how Fulligan still has his Twitter bio 3.9k peak. Like Oates still has in his bio 3.9k peak, but I think he probably peaked that like a year ago. You know, like to me it's just funny when people have like those high SR peaks when you haven't peaked. It'd be like me who peaked like 3.4 in like season 17 or 18
I
or
peaked
whatever.
like 4K like a couple seasons ago, like 8.
Yeah, it's like if you still had that in your bio.
Yeah, I picked 3.74 seasons ago. Ever heard of it?
But you
Kind
know
of
what
a
I'm saying.
gamer.
But that being said, Oates, yeah, like I wouldn't even be surprised. Oates just played insane, looked really good. But I will say another really good surprise is just how good Epic Shock has been for Tenacity. I'll talk about him because he's played the match, right? Like even versus MI6, like his ball was just so great. I don't know if they like. I was so confused why they ran Fifi on the ball and Andrew on the Diva. not their best look, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That was an
Lead a
interesting
question
one.
mark.
It's probably a it worked in scrims moment, right? Like
Yeah. Do you wanna also know what worked in scrims? Freaking my Symmetra, but I didn't get run on Symmetra. What
You
is
know,
this?
the way I interpreted it was this: that like at this point they just decided to do something different in hopes that it was working. It was like a desperation attempt. But I don't know, like it might be. I think Tenacity has one of the scariest lineups in the league, for sure. But the tank lineup is definitely probably the most dominant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
I want to get my rematch against Epic Shock because week 1 doesn't count.
Yeah,
At
that's
all?
the thing. Dude, that's the thing. I
Rummy
would
gets
love to
casually
see.
MTD.
I would actually like to see your two teams play because I think like I don't like actually I think I know people are super high in Tenacity and trust me I am as well, but like I'm also pretty high on Mortal Wombats and it's like man I wish that the week 1 game like happened week 7. You feel me?
No, like
It's like-
week one games are so garbage in general because it's like it's either your team is gonna play super separated and you know it's not a true indication of how well they can play,
Yeah.
or they're going against a team that probably already has the
Some
coordination
synergy.
out
Yeah.
out the synergy out the gate, which is gonna give them a massive advantage, which
Yeah.
might make them seem a bit stronger than
Yeah.
intended. Not to say that Tenacity is not strong. Like I feel like if we played them again right now, it'd be a close match.
Who knows who would? I actually don't know who would win, but it's just like yeah, I'm super high on both of your guys' teams.
MI6 doesn't look awful. I don't think they looked completely outmatched like the whole time.
Nah.
Like,
MI6
I think the
ghosted
only-
me, so they have a cold place in my heart.
I think
If
the
I
only
ever face them,
team.
they're getting gurgled.
Any team that loses to Tenacity just has to have like a sticky note. It's like you're not bad, don't worry.
yeah, I mean it's Tenacity. They only
Exactly.
dropped a
Only
map
dropped a
when they
map to
ran Genji, right? Like and they
This is true.
they
That was a real map that they played with real comps.
yeah. So I mean, like the team itself is just it's cool. Like they look unbeatable. Like until they get beaten, we're gonna say the same thing every week. I'm pretty. MI6 doesn't look awful though. I would say.
That being like, I think the only map that looked like a roll was Gibraltar. Gibraltar looked like a roll. Like they got just destroyed because they got full held, right? Didn't MI6 get full held? Or am I thinking of a different game?
I think.
I'm pretty sure they got full held, didn't they? Because I just remember watching it being like, wow. The double bubble from Tenacity looked good, and they just got kind of rolled. But yeah, there's not much else to say. Like Swifters had a decent game. I thought Roy had a decent game. I would say like the big question mark to me was like the tanks got exposed and somewhat sometimes there's I feel like a disconnect with the supports.
Yeah.
Like I do feel like even though I heavily doubted Swifters when they signed him, when they drafted him, he has looked a lot better and like has really surprised me. And then Roy has looked really good. Laura has looked really good. I do think that Monarch is better than Flame. So I don't know if I would play, but like, is Monarch just a BAP OTP? Is that what they think? Because I know his Zen's pretty solid. I don't know. So MI6 is still like an enigma to me. Because like, I also want to know where the heck Juana's been. Because like, they've had like a different MS every week. Except now they have Wooly full time, and I love Wooly. I just don't know how he's gonna do long term at this level.
Do you know what I love about MI6?
What's up?
They have Andrew O. I love Andrew O.
Andrew O is a good dude.
I'd love to play with him, but someone just ghosted me.
Yeah, to be fair, I think Juana's ghosted like everyone. Like I hear he's barely around right now. So if you want to talk to MI6, you gotta talk to Laura at this point.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. They could have gotten the Gurgler, but they didn't. So it's Exodus got me instead.
Yep. All right. Now we're gonna move on. So do we want to go predictions or discussion? Actually, let's just go predictions, and because we've had a good discussion overall, just about like.
Yeah, I would agree.
So-
I agree. Yeah.
So we're gonna do predictions. Unlike past times, like we don't do guest predictions anymore, like not like written down. So we're gonna start with the first game, which is DC versus who they play, bro.
They play Exodus.
Okay. So Jeff has DC winning 3-2. I have DC winning 3-1. Analyst is 80% in favor of DC. Community is 63% in favor. I want to say that I made this prediction during the capitalism game when you guys are down 0-2. I still think DC wins, and I'm pretty okay with my 3-1 prediction.
No, I think it's pretty good. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
I think you guys take a map, 100%. But I also think that like if DC has their entire lineup, right?
Yeah, that's another thing, right?
If they're playing the lineup they played versus TP, you guys can probably win.
Yeah,
You know?
maybe.
But if they're playing like their normal lineup, I think it becomes a much harder game. Especially now that you don't have, and now that you've lost Wizard, maybe this comes out on Friday. I don't know if you want to tell us who's playing Flex DPS now or what, or if you just want to wait. But
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, we have pair. I mean, actually, I don't really. We scrimmed once this week. We were gonna scrim today, but like, you know, we stand with the Blizzard employees, and then I think we're scrimming Friday. But a lot of things have happened this week. So yeah, Wizard left. Obviously, super sad. I'm gonna miss him a lot. I hope he, you know, IRL stuff always takes priority over these leagues, regardless of anything. So, you know, I wish him the best. Hopefully, you know, we play again or we play with each other. He's a really cool guy. Aurora is in Michigan for a bench meetup, like the bench team. They still like all talk together. So she's gonna be in Michigan for the game. And then Stefa.
Is that where Sly is right now? Hold on.
Yeah, that's where Sly is. Yeah. And then Stefa or Danny got called to a business trip today. So I actually do not know who will and who will not be starting this weekend.
Yeah, that probably.
I feel like every week in intermediate this season has been Scuff's lineups.
That would probably change my prediction a little bit. So we will see.
Even with full lineups from both teams, I'm never gonna like, you know, we're still a brand new team. It does take time. DC has 5 weeks on us. Like, if we lose, even with our full roster, like, who really gives a shit, you know? It's like, it's whatever. Exodus, it's like, oh, we expect that. And then if we win, it's like, oh, I think it makes DC look worse than us looking better if DC were to lose to a team that's super brand new, right? So like I said in the interview, I genuinely do not care if I lose the rest of the season out. The rest of the season, I'm focusing on building synergy with this team to be able to focus on playoffs. That's all I care. I do not care about winning any of these games. I'm going to try, obviously, but I genuinely do not care if we win or lose. I'm just here to have fun, and then once playoffs happen, that's when we, you know, like, that's when we super try.
Pretty sure if TP loses this week, you guys,
depends
like,
on
the top five seeds are like the top 5 teams are confirmed to make playoffs. Like, not seeds, but just confirmed to make playoffs.
If TP
I think there's no way because Papega can get 3 wins technically speaking, but if Papega lose, so if Papega and TP lose, then we get guaranteed playoffs.
Yep.
No offense to you, Michael. I just don't want you to win because I don't want Pongo to lose to anybody but me for the rest of the season.
Okay, I'll throw for you. Don't worry, Remy. I got you. I got you, boo. No, but I mean, regardless, I hope it's going to be a fun game. I hope every game is going to be a fun game. I hope every game is going to be a close one. If we lose, though, cool, that's great. If we win, you know, it's even greater. It's just how it is. It's how these leagues are. I think people read too much into wins and losses, when at the end of the day, it's like...
in the end, you only get what you see on the screen, right? You don't know any of the background
And in the end of the day, I think playoffs are the only thing that matter, in my eyes. Like, regular season, you could be a top team, like... Wait What were a top team and then they lost. Tokyo Drifters were a top team and then they lost. But the top teams that were in playoffs are the ones that won. Like Epic Zeus were shit during the season, or they weren't shit, but you know
they went 4-3, right?
They went 4-3. They were average, and then they won the whole thing because they focused up in playoffs. I think that's the only thing that matters. I think teams.
It's the smartest thing to do.
Exactly. So it's like I don't care if I lose the rest of the season. I'm gonna just focus on playoffs.
Yeah, I do think that there's a lot of truth to that, but I'm also of the mindset of like, because like I've been on a lot of teams that don't look great in regular season, and I've also been on a lot of teams that have like dominated regular seasons and then lost in playoffs. You know, rest in peace WA season 2. Like it's definitely like you can look at it both ways. I think though there's a lot to say like if you're just so dominant regular season, because like if Tenacity loses, I'm not gonna say they're not a favorite anymore, but there's definitely gonna make me think like, oh, is it possible? Like, I could see all the teams here, like, winning at some point, but the regular season is the only body of work we have to go off of.
Yeah. That's what we have to do, yeah.
And also, meta could change. That's the thing, so it's like...
True. But that being said, you know, like, last season, like, Epi looked really good at the end of the season. Like, even...
like their final games,
Yeah, and then TD, you know, everyone thought they were dropping off at the end of the season, even though they were winning, right? Like, you can tell even in wins and losses. Like, you don't need to just read the record to be like, oh, this is the best team.
Yeah.
Watch the games.
That's fair. I agree with that. But it's still like, you know, if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. You know, it is what it is.
It's a good mindset to have. I mean, like as you said, like as you were talking about earlier with Kappa, like it's really easy to just like get lost in like the sauce and, you know, be tilted. You know, I was on a team with Nova. I know how he gets when he gets upset, right? And he's a really good main tank when he's on, right? But if he gets upset, like there's a lot of players like that, you know.
Yeah. And I can't count on both hands how many times I've had to reverse sweep. I can't count on both hands how many times I've had to reverse sweep games.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next game, which is when we look
Papega versus Kappa.
Papega Cap, yeah.
I have Kappa winning 3-1. Jeff has Papega winning 3-2.
This is the week.
And then analyst is 7% in favor of Kappa, and then community is 87% in favor.
This is the week.
Bro, I don't know, dude. Like, if they have Pine in now, like, I do question their flex DPS problem a lot. But because I don't think like commercials trying, but I'm sorry, dude, you can't go from being like a 2.6k like hit scan one trick to now playing flex DPS at a high level. You know, like it's just like you can, especially if you never like no offense to him because I also was like 2.9 for a long time and played at higher SRs. You know, you can't just turn that around like in a space of a couple weeks.
Commercial had his moments though. He had his moments, but he also Commercial is like I don't even know. He's like the player that he's either like the entire kill feed or he's like the entire kill feed on like the other side of the kill feed, the not good side, right? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it is weird seeing him transition, but I think he's doing fine. I don't think he's doing like horrible, or I think he's doing a lot better than what maybe other people would be if they were transitioning to flex DPS. But for this game, obviously, I want capitalism to win, but like my biggest question, which is always my biggest question is just like, if they lose a map or if they lose 2 maps, like God, you can't get boomed. You can't. If you get boomed, you already lose the series, even like 1 map in. So I just hope that maybe Pineapple can help with that. And if Papega starts to take maps, then I don't really know. I'd love for this to go to a map 5 though and have Rocket win just so the curse can get broken. But
this is true.
To get broken.
I believe in Rocket Curse getting broken. I hope it happens this game.
I gotta say, after playing Papega, I realized that, it doesn't matter where you rank them on the power rankings. There's still a team in this league, in this SR range. So you can't just, do any kind of thing and expect to win. They're gonna win if you're not really trying, unless you're like a super duper powerhouse team.
Yeah, like tenacity. Let's go. I'm kidding. Although
we need I think for the next countdown, there need to be a tenacity counter for how many times tenacity gets brought up in conversation as a example of a powerhouse.
I love tenacity. That Opa guy, so hot. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, so do you guys think Kappa wins or Papega for the other?
I think Kappa wins, but I mean, God, I like the people on like Kappa. This is not fair. It's like as an equal, I think Papega actually have a shot. But like, please Kappa, like please win for the Gurgler, win for me. Do it for me if anything. Don't think about your guys' own win. Just do it for me, please.
This is also like the chance they have to make playoffs. Like they really do need to win this game.
They need to win this game or they don't make playoffs. I agree with that.
Okay. So moving on to the next, Rami. Oh wait, actually, Rami, which one do you think wins?
I think you said
Rami.
No.
Rami, you playing Rocket?
I'm gonna be optimistic here and say Papega 3-2.
Yeah, let's go Papega train. But honestly, they have new management, right? They have invested management. They have
the best main support in the league.
They have they have good they have good players. Like they've had individually good moments. Like maybe with the new organization and like new energy. Like I think this is the time. Like they can win this match.
Cool. I am fully prepared to be wrong in my prediction though.
That's fair. Okay, moving on to the next game, which is MI6 versus Mortal Wombat.
Yeah.
Jeff has Mortal Wombat winning 3-1. I do not have a prediction. Analysts are 50-50. The community is 73% in favor of Mortal Wombat.
Wow, 50-50?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't like. It is like since we beat DC, right? Like, it's just like MI6. Like, I also don't know how to judge MI6 because they go to map 5 versus Thought Police 1 week, then they 3-0 Exodus, but Exodus was imploding, right?
Yeah.
And then they get 3-0 by Tenacity. So it's like, to me, it's like a pretty much a top. Like, I have no idea how good the team is.
In the end, your only common opponent is Tenacity, right? So
Yeah, and we both lost 3-0.
So
Terrible indication.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's probably why. I just think I think Mortal Wombat's a little bit more adaptable than MI6. I think a little more flexibility on the team, and that's kind of what puts you ahead in.
One tricks. We have
I wouldn't say a little more
You
flexible. I think Mortal Wombat is a lot more flexible. I think they're just better in every role, which is why I'm going to predict MI6 3-0. Let's go! Let's go, Andrew! I'm kidding. No, Mortal Wombat's 3-0 in my prediction.
It's not a prediction, but I gotta say, Romy being a Ryan one trick is the most outdated meme. Okay, I have proven time and time again that I can play the other tanks, the other main tanks. Okay.
Okay,
So
I'll say the other tanks being Orisa and Monkey. Your ball is still
Look,
coming.
it's because you haven't seen me on the ladder. Okay. Don't tell the other.
Yeah, I think Romy. I don't think you're a Ryan one trick. Smile.
I just like to call him a Ryan one trick because like the amount of plays that me and Romy set up around pins is too funny. Like in scrims, we'll just like be like, "Oh, you want a pin? All right, bet." We
Dude,
just
do
go
the console meta and pull pin. Shit's goated.
I gotta say, like, this was probably the first team where I managed to pull off the pin high noon.
Yeah, we've done
a
that.
viable ult combo.
Holy moly! That's inspirational.
I think we did that versus Papega, didn't we? We did. I think we did it on. I think
it was
King's
that
Row.
better
We did it.
scrims.
Dude, it's too funny. Like, where we'll just combo pin with things to just get Ryan Shield down.
Yeah, even like if I don't get the full pin, I just boot them out of position.
Yeah, and then we all just go in with it. But it's fun. It's like we have fun in Brawl. It's just like we're silly.
Yeah, that's our most comfortable. Let's
Anyway.
say that we can't play anything. Enemy teams listening.
Yeah, we're bad at everything. You know, double shield atrocious.
Yes, exactly.
We're atrocious. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about the game, but I also don't want to underestimate anyone because I think Laura Swifters and have like a really good prop potential. I think Monarch's pretty good if he doesn't sleep through the game because it's Monarch.
Don't forget this is a scuffed week.
Yeah, and we do have we have a scuffed lineup, but like I'm still feeling pretty good because since like the game's getting moved to Sunday officially, we're only missing Sly now instead of missing me and Sly and Tyranitar and Monty. Now we're only missing Sly and Monty. So we actually have a lineup because we wouldn't have a support. We would have had to put Matson on support if we had played Saturday. It would have been funny. It would have been really funny. So moving on to the last game, Tenacity versus Thought Police. 100% analysts 3-0. We all have 3-0. Community's 93% in favor because I assume Thought Police people voted for themselves.
They do it every week.
Huh?
They do it every week.
Yes,
week.
Dude. Bro, I just don't see them winning. Like,
I have a way that Police winning. Hear me out, right?
Okay, I'm ready for it.
They pocket Greek hard.
Okay,
easy 3-0.
I have a more real.
Okay, that's why Runback had such a good record in Toker because I had Pendoof.
I have an easier way.
Get your best player Greek, best MVP of the league. I'm standing on MVP. Pocket him, and then you roll through to that. They have Oats like the best off tank. Who cares? They have Epic Shock and Disney, the two best main tanks. Who cares?
Ravioli.
You got Greek.
You have the off-tank player playing Ryan, bro. And I guess Exodus has the same thing. Yeah. But
I'm passionate at this. I'm standing up. I'm on my feet. Let's go, Greek!
If Thought Police want to win this game, maybe they should look into time travel technology and like redraft because it's not happening.
No, I think Thought Police 3-1. You
Yeah.
know, maybe Tenacity will get a lucky map in. Okay,
like
but
that.
you know,
That's what I'm
Thought
thinking, yeah.
Police not gonna get boomed. They're gonna stick to their guns and then just finish out the series.
No,
Nah,
they keep going for flank range charges like that. It's gonna work eventually. That's all I have to say.
This is true. This is
exactly.
true.
the gap
Remember-
is way too significant between these teams.
Hey,
Thought Police, yeah, maybe with your new players, I just don't see it happening based on what's happened in the season so far.
You just don't have the vision.
Yeah, maybe I don't.
Take it. But yeah, I thought Police 3-2.
It's so funny that we meme on them. Like, Thought Police, I want to say, has looked better. You know, like, they look more comfortable. But at the same time, like, it's just like, again, even though they're improving, it's just like every other team is improving too, and they just started so far behind behind the 8 ball.
They're having to make too many adjustments there.
Personally, I think Thought Police is fantastic. They just need to work on communication, aim, map awareness, ability usage, ability combos, ultimate usage, recontesting point, healing, healing, and getting kills.
This
I
is
feel like
synergy,
especially in a league at like this SR, like I feel like synergy is just the most important thing, or in team play. You know, there are times where you'll have teams with maybe not the best players, but they'll play as one. They'll play like a well-oiled machine, and they'll end up, you know, putting on a match for the ages. So, actually, like, you know, maybe Thought Police has a very, very slim chance of getting this together if things don't work out for Tenacity, and things work out for Thought Police. Like it's a perfect storm. It has to be a perfect storm.
Romy's spitting right now. Facts. Yeah. Let's go, Thought Police. Imagine the storyline.
I'm not gonna close out any hope for victory.
If they play like they play on Busan, they can play it consistently. Maybe, but yeah, it would.
Just putting McCree on the Doomfist, you know, watch him carry.
If Tenacity loses, I'm breaking up with Opa on Twitter. So don't lose.
If Tenacity loses, I will actually put on a face cam and shave my beard, bro. Like, if they lose, I will actually shave my beard.
I'm gonna hell ride.
And the people at my job have been bugging me to shave my beard for like a year.
It's not very Chick-fil-A. It's not very corporate. So
yeah.
Oh wait. Since you work at Chick-fil-A, okay, tell me about those nuggets.
Bro, what do you mean tell you about that? Why does every countdown...
You brought it up last time. I
used to work at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I think you told me this. Yeah, me and you talked about this.
Yeah. It's fucking good.
It is
I don't care. It's like fast food places, usually once you quit, you just don't want to go back. But my God.
My favorite's the chicken sandwich.
Dude,
so
the spicy grilled sandwich is literally to die for.
I feel like the chicken sandwich meta in the fast food restaurant. The chicken sandwich meta is so overplayed.
What do you mean so overplayed? They were like, I don't know, like
because Popeyes had their chicken sandwich and it was popular. Then McDonald's got theirs, then Burger King got theirs, then Arby's got theirs, and then everybody's just doing the same thing.
Arby's always has had one. Hold up.
No, but the thing is, they go for the same chicken sandwich with some stupid sauce, throw some pickles on it, and then they rename it. McDonald's already had a chicken sandwich themselves.
They did.
It's like
the foil. They all wanted to have like the foil bag type thing where like it's simple. But, like, I don't get why they all put mayo on it, bro. Like, the chicken sandwich Chick-fil-A, no sauce, bro. You gotta enjoy that chicken, bro.
No, you guys are weird purists. Sauce it up. Like, sauce to the moon.
I
like,
I sauce the nuggets. No, but, like, the Chick-fil-A sandwich isn't even dry. Like, it's
is this an
when I say dry chicken, I mean chicken without sauce. Yeah, like, chicken without sauce will be good, right? But, you know, it's like, why would you want to do that?
Chicken?
Chick-fil-A's also goated.
Bro, someone was like...
It's like, why not have both?
Someone was like, why, if I could combine barbecue and honey mustard and just call it my own sauce, I would too. I was like, it's barbecue, honey mustard, as well as mayo. Well, honey roasted barbecue is basically Chick-fil-A sauce, just lower calories because there's not as much mayo in it.
You dropping
So,
the
like-
secret recipe? Is that what's
Wait,
happening?
what does this have to do with Overwatch?
Tenacity
Why not,
3
Romy?
Tenacity
This is
3-0.
like Chick-fil-A sandwich. They're perfect.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Thought Police is like the Chick-fil-A sandwich. They're perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Greek is like Chick-fil-A sauce. He's the thing that brings it all together, you know, bro?
Yeah.
The,
Yeah.
secret,
Yeah,
the secret
exactly.
sauce.
You just
Exactly,
can't get
yes.
enough of it. You just can't get enough of it, and they
Can't
charge
get
you
enough
extra.
of it.
They charge you extra for more packets.
Wait, dude, wait. What Chick-fil-A charges you extra for more sauce?
Well, I don't really know. I'm in New York, and we don't really have a lot of Chick-fil-A's.
That's fair.
Are they extinct?
No,
it's
New York
just-
City
it's
had a
just
whole
rare.
thing against them. Yeah,
No, New York City had. There's a Chick-fil-A in New York City, but I don't live in the city, and I hate driving to the city.
Fair. I
Yeah.
would too. Yeah, I'd imagine.
Spitting.
There's no parking, and you're always like 2 seconds away from an accident. Not very fun.
Not a good place for a
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A. Not a good place for a Chick-fil-A. Yeah, they're the happiest place in
Yeah,
Earth.
in the residential area, there's no Chick-fil-A.
All right. Well, anything else we want to touch on before we call it a day? I think we've kind of covered everything we want to
Hey,
cover.
I
you know?
gotta say, I
Wait,
think
what
I'm
was
the
the
only guest
discussion
that
topic?
I'm the
we
only guest
kinda-
that hasn't cursed.
I think you might be right.
I legitimately am like a little tipsy right now, so.
Oh well.
I
never
watched
would've
Countdown, and you invite a bunch of potty mouth.
Romy,
Listen, I only curse when I'm passionate, and I only cursed when I was talking about Thought Police. That just like shows.
All right. Let's do a quick
Very
wrap up, really quick.
all right. So, we had some fun discussions, some good memes. Now you all know our opinion on chicken. Not biased at all. Not biased. And I'm Navina. Joined today by Romy and the Gurgler, and Jeff. And we'll see you all next week. Well, at least Jeff and I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, these guys aren't coming back.
Yeah.
You gotta invite.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice.
Let's
Hooray.
go.
E. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We were talking with Dashy last week, and it's a tough week, but I mean, Powerhouse still looked strong, regardless. Like we weren't sure what the scoreline was going to be with a full roster, but it was a pretty convincing 3-0.
I feel like that if they did have Dashi, I feel like we actually would have done a little bit better because we got caught off guard by their like weird comps. So,
Okay.
yeah.
What were you like? Were you preparing for kind of a bit more standard comp picks from them?
Yeah,
Was
we
there?
thought they
Okay.
would just like one trick rush or like
Oh, okay,
the cream A, but yeah.
Damn, that's
So
worse.
we just kind of adapted like mid map,
Yeah.
and I feel like we're better at the mirror, so I feel like we would have like rolled on that, but it gave us a challenge against like Ryan Monkey.
Another 3-0. What a great week of Overwatch. I think I don't. I mean, I'm a big fan of that King's Row where Sparrow played like the entire roster of heroes, breaking out the junks, the bastions, just everything ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot what he said, but he's like, yeah, they're gonna have something like some kind of like ball comp or something. So I'm just gonna go junk, and we're like, oh, okay, go junk, I guess.
Hey, it worked. Can't complain with results.
And we just played like how we normally play. We're like, with coming into the game, we already expected that we were gonna be better in the brawl mirror when they go any kind of Ryan comp. After watching the week before when they played Hope's Peak, so we're like, okay, just any map with Ryan, we're probably gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't really
Go ahead.
we weren't expecting them to bring us to any map with Ryan because we were expecting them to bring us to maps where they can play the double shield and Orisa comp. So it kind of sort of took us off guard when they took us to like Jib and King's Row. But I
Mhm.
mean, we still just play like normal.
Yeah, and even on Jib, Saint JJ looked great on the monkey. Like you guys still looked really strong on Jib. Like not, I wouldn't say nearly as convincing of a 3-0, but you guys still were dominant in that game. Yeah, like you can't disregard that really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go.
Speak.
Yeah, I think the reason I went 3-1, I feel like on a in general my predictions are kind of just randomly throwing in a 1 in there to see what teams will take them out, and because we're kind of just seeing Axel, Otto, and Powerhouse kind of run away with the league right now. Like it's there's clearly 2 top teams and 2 bottom teams right now, despite the fact that I think Hope's Peak and Goofy Goobers can definitely play above what we've seen in their records. They are like Axolotl Powerhouse just keep winning games. So I think trying to predict anything outside of them winning in a pretty convincing fashion is kind of just a foolish error. Yeah, for sure. I think the big thing with Goofy Goobers is that, and we've talked about it a lot in the past, is that they kind of like to play a lot more of these niche pick heroes, and it's taking a while for them to kind of iron it out, or the other teams are just like fully prepared for it. Like there's a time and place for those weird comps, but I find that in general, they kind of need to find their footing in these mirrors that we've been seeing with the other teams. It just seems kind of odd when I think they were breaking out what the Sombra or Pharah or the Tracer Pharah on Kings. Like they were running some wacky stuff. So they either need to figure out how to make it work and start taking some of these maps, or maybe look at possibly adjusting, because we're getting later and later into the season, and it's getting time that you might want to start thinking about getting some wins on the board. So I think they can make it happen. They've just got to get the pieces there. You're good. You're
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, no, you're good. Segment. Yeah, there you go. I think the academic word is questions.
Yeah. Questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, I mean, I don't think this is really a hot take, but like you already said it. It's kind of just Axolotl and then Powerhouse, and then
Okay. Okay.
I definitely agree. I was gonna say the exact same thing. I think Goofy Goobers right now isn't looking that good, but I think if Hope's Peak gets a couple pickups, they can be really good. Because like the match against us was actually kind of close, even though it was a 3-0. Like the first two maps were like kind of close.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'm going mad hot take. It's gonna be the hottest one. Kurt Lebert of the Axolotl Syndicate is getting benched for Painless. And Painless is coming in and they're gonna sweep the league. It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot. Hey, wait, listen, it's not, it doesn't gotta be right. It doesn't gotta
Maybe
be right.
Jaybird will have the leaks.
I mean, he's scrimmed. It's not like he's not playing. Like he's just gonna sitting there.
Yeah. When are we gonna see the Jaybird, Lucio?
I mean, you can see it whenever.
Okay,
I can get on the frog whenever. It's just that
Awesome.
like the reason why like Saint JJ and like Painless don't really play all that much or at all is because like the six starters that play, we're all well rounded enough that we can play like any comp. Like we don't have hero specific people on our team. And I mean that comes into with like how we don't have that many people on our team. We only have 8, so we have to like know every comp that we're gonna play, and everyone has to be able to play whichever characters. But I mean, I think that we could see Painless come into play here, probably maybe this week, next week. I think.
Ooh, all right,
Shit.
all right.
But, I mean, I don't really have any like super duper. Oh, super hot. This isn't really a hot take too much, but Saint JJ is definitely a better like main tank than like owners and flawless and Nishu. I think. I don't think that's really a hot take though.
It's a take. It's a take. Damn, that might
Damn.
be the hottest take.
I think Dashi's just better.
Yeah.
And I think that Speed is like the worst player in the league by far. So that's my hot take.
Damn, it's brutal. Yeah, my question for the both of you is, both of you guys and your teams have been performing incredibly well. Axolotl only the one loss in a very close 3-2 against Powerhouse as the top team. What has kind of been the key to your team's success, whether it be individual plays, working as a team, just kind of going into games with certain mindsets? Just kind of give us an idea of what's been working well that's kind of setting you guys apart.
You can go.
Go first. Oh, are you sure? Okay.
Yeah.
I think that OPM just got like everyone that he wanted to in his draft, and like all of us are pretty good, and we just wanted to one trick rush, so that's what we've been doing. It's like one of the easiest comps. You just kind of walk in, wall the Ryan, and just kill them. So yeah.
All right, right on, right on. Jaybird, what about you for Axolotl?
I think that like everyone on the team, like you said, like everyone on your own team, like my team, I guess you can say, is like good overall. Like everyone's good, and I mean, we all like the like rush. So like he said, Jason, we like playing rush too. It's fun. It's easy. I like to play double bubble too sometimes. I mean, and we just work hard and stuff. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, no, absolutely right on. A question just to add on to it a bit. Both of you guys have emphasized just playing the rush comps, and we've kind of seen the other two teams kind of straying more to some other, a bit more technical compositions that require a lot more coordination. Do you think that might be an error on them to try and play a bit more challenging comps, or do you think that if it works out for them, they could probably run you over with it?
I think that with these other like kind of niche comps, if you run it like perfectly, then yeah, it'd be really strong against like the rush comp. But I think it's really hard to do that. So
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
pretty much just easier to just go rush and play against all these other different comps and knowing what to do against them.
Gotcha.
I think that what Host Peak ran, like the Rhine Monkey, like really worked against us and like it caught us off guard. But I think if they do go mirror matchup against us, like or Axolotl, they'll just like kind of lose. So I think that's why they've been playing the other comps.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair, because at some point, if you kind of recognize you've just lost the mirror, try whatever, try something new.
Yeah. All right. Monkey Aritha.
What a comp.
I don't have any beef, but I want to shout out Clay Machine because he's just the GOAT. He's just best coach ever.
I mean, I'm excited for a match against Powerhouse whenever we play them again. It's gonna be fun. And then I want to shout out Chuggy because Chuggy's a god.
True.
I love Chuggy.
Nice.
Yes, sir.